Welcome to Wild Breakaway with Tom Chorsky. I'm Audra Martin. 2 straight games here at the XL Energy Center. The Minnesota Wild found themselves in a 3-1 deficit tonight. Unlike the last time we were here, they were not able to get it done in regulation. They forced overtime, but they come up short, falling 4-3 to the first place New Jersey Devils.
Yeah, and this was a game that got off on a pretty good start for the Minnesota Wild. They held the Devils to 3 shots in the first period, but the Devils owned a 1-0 lead, so that gave them enough momentum into the second. Power play scores a goal, which was good to tie it up, but then another fluky goal. So it was the way these goals were scored that seems to be short-circuiting the Wild's momentum. They were able to come back and tie the game, get it to overtime, but then gave the players too much time and space, and New Jersey was able to execute.
Well, here's a look at tonight's final stats. Unfortunately, yes, the Wild outshooting the Devils 36-25, like you said, 3 shots in the first period, but they had the 1-0 lead heading into the second. Another perfect night on the penalty kill, and great to see the Minnesota Wild power play continuing to be red hot, 2 for 4 here tonight. The big news heading into this game, though, was the return of Charlie Coyle after 16 games out with a broken leg. He was back on the ice, and you can bet his teammates were very glad to have him back.
It's huge getting him back. Hopefully Zach will get back soon. Just once we get our pieces back, I think, if we can get some wins here in the meantime until everything's, going, I think it'll be a good thing for us. But obviously having Chucky back is, it's a huge bonus for us. Big body. He holds the puck, and he's very confident with the puck when it's in the offensive zone.
So now the Wild hit the road to be reunited with some familiar faces in Marco Scandella and Jason Pominville. The rest of the Buffalo Sabres, who aren't too pleased right now, find themselves on a 6-game losing streak. A very beatable team for the Minnesota Wild. Hopefully they can take the positives away from this one and turn it into a win here on the road.
Yeah, worst team in the East. You can see that. Only 5 wins and only 2 at home. Wild will probably take a little different lineup, I would guess, into Buffalo. Chris Stewart was out tonight. I felt like the team lacked a little bit of grit and a little bit of energy. He could bring that back into the lineup. So I'm on a limb here, but you might see him come back in and maybe a change on the blue line too.
It's a busy week for the Minnesota Wild. 4 games in 6 days. Game 2 comes against Buffalo Wednesday night. We look forward to seeing you then. For Tom Chorsky, I'm Audra Martin. Thanks for joining us on Wild Breakaway.